Hey there guys, it is the Backstab Gaming here, and I'm back again to show you guys another quick product. So this right here is the Ms Pac-Man Tiny Arcade from Super Impulse. These started out as these little neat Cracker Barrel exclusive things you could find, and now you can find them in a lot of toy stores, gaming stores, that kind of stuff. So let's start off by having a look at the box. Unlike a lot of products in the arcade lineup, and in general are these cardboard, kind of generic packaging, while this one is unique in that it has a 100% plastic box. There's no stickers. All this labeling is actually screen printed onto the plastic. There's no, it's all paint. There's no decals. You can't peel it off or anything, I think that's pretty cool for something like this. So, as you can see up here, we've got the Ms Pac-Man logo. We've got the Tiny Arcade. That's the brand that these are sold under, is Tiny Arcade. Let's see over here, it says Original Gameplay. We've got a little choking hazard, 3 years, obviously. We've got the Super Impulse logo. That's the company behind these. See, it includes 1 game, 3 AAA batteries, keychain, and instructions, which I find it a little bit weird that they say there's a keychain in there when it's actually attached to the back, but that's okay. So here on the top, we've got a little plastic hanger. These do hang on the shelves, or sit, depending on, where you get it from. We've got the Tiny Arcade logo yet again, and we've also got the Ms Pac-Man logo there. Here on the side, we've got the World's Smallest logo. Super Impulse is known for these World's Smallest stuff. They've got, like, Magic 8 Balls and Rubik's Cubes and little Hot Wheel cars. They've got a lot of cool stuff. I actually do have one of the Magic 8 Balls, and they do all work, or at least the vast majority of them. They've got stuff like a little laptop that lights up, but doesn't exactly work, which is still pretty cool, but that is, I guess, a little bit misleading right here, considering somewhere on the box it says, yes, before you ask, yes, they actually work. That might have been on the Magic 8 Ball. I think that was on the Magic 8 Ball. Never mind. So, yeah, you can see it says, the smallest fully functional arcade game. It says joystick and button controls. You've got the little World's Smallest logo at the top. Same thing on the other side. If we go around to the back, we got the Ms Pac-Man logo there. Once again, the Tiny Arcade logo. Colors may vary, blah, blah, blah. We've got the Super Impulse logo again. And we've got the official Bandai Namco seal. So we do know that this is an official quality product. Not much in the bottom, just, annoying barcode stuff, blah, blah, blah. Nothing really interesting there. We do, however, have a Try Me, and if we go ahead and try that, you can see, it's not one of those cheap, generic, monochrome type things that you see with the basic fun machines or that calculator type button. What we have here is a full color display and a game ROM, which is really cool. Considering how small it is to actually see something like that, it's really cool. It's really fascinating to see how it works and everything. And I just think it's really cool that they're able to do it. You don't see this kind of stuff very often anymore. So I guess let's go ahead and get it open. So, I'm not going to bother with skipping around with this because it's a very simple process. You've just got these little bits of tape there in the top. You can kind of undo those on either side here. You can see that. Peel that open, and then it should just open up from the top. Now, I like to keep this tape nice, so I just kind of fold the tape under. You don't have to do that, but I prefer to. So we go ahead and pop this open. We can go ahead and pull out our tray. So here is the tray with the game in that. Let's go ahead and put that aside for now. And we do have a couple of other stuff inside the box here. So let's go ahead and put that in the back and have a look. So we do have this little itty-bitty manual, really cute small manual. You've got the maze in the background, which is really cool. Tiny Arcade, smallest game. You've got down in there, we've got demo play mode. Comes shipped in demo mode. After playing it, please follow the full gameplay mode instructions. Blah, blah. It just tells you how to get out of the demo mode. Now, right here, it does say to start the game by pressing the left button here. It also says to turn the game on by moving the on-off switch. in order to activate the full gameplay mode. So basically what it's saying is to turn it off and turn it back on. Although a lot of people have said that this doesn't work. And what's really weird about it is that, and I'll use my Pac-Man as an example. My Pac-Man came shipped with a little pull tab in it that you could pull out, and then it was in game mode. My Ms Pac-Man did not have a demo mode. The box has the little slit in it, and the little package has a hole for the demo mode switch, but there wasn't one with it. I tried turning it off and on, and it didn't work. So what you actually need to do to get it out of demo mode is you need to turn it off, and then turn it back on holding these two buttons. Just a fair warning there. Back to the instructions. If there's no activity in your game for 20 seconds, the game will go into sleep mode. You know, just some generic stuff on how to operate your game, and, you know, we've got some battery safety information, and all the stuff you'd find in a manual. Nothing really that you wouldn't already know, so find that really pointless to go over. Next up is this little Super Impulse banner we've got in here. You can see, classic mini collectible toys, world's smallest. Before you ask, yes, they actually work. So let's go ahead and open it up. You can see they've got a ton of different stuff. So we can see, like right here, we've got the Army Men, we've got an Etch-a-Sketch, we've got the Rubik's Cube, we've got a Perplexus. Really interested in that one. I wonder if it works as well as the original does. There's a Duncan Yo-Yo, which is kind of cool. We've got those little tops, the little doodle top. Got a Magic 8 Ball. I do have one of those. They've got a little sock monkey, assuming it's just a tiny plush. Little people school bus. Apparently that thing rolls and the little people go up and down, which is really cool considering it's less than an inch tall. We've got the little G.I. Joe figures, Pez dispensers, Stretch Armstrong. We've got a ton of other stuff on there. Barbies, Gumby and Pokey. We've got these Hot Wheel cars, which I really want one of those. It's pretty cool. More stuff over here. We've got a little Polaroid camera. No, it doesn't work. It just simulates the little piece of plastic coming out. There's the turntable. Yeah, turntable. I almost said turnable. And the thing, you open it up and the thing spins. So that's pretty neat. You've got the laptop. You can open it and it'll light up. You've got these little Thomas whatevers. You know, I guess they're just mini trains. You've also got working miniature Tiger Electronics. Football, basketball, and baseball. Pretty cool. Gumby, and you've got some of their other products, like Gumby and Stretch. And then you've got Fraggle Rock, and there is the little barcode if you want to learn more. On the back are some more stuff, some more of their own stuff. They also make these Nerf blasters and whatnot. They've got a lot of cool stuff in store. If you actually want to see that, I recommend going and seeing another video, because I don't want to cover this thing in depth. That would be pretty much the whole video, and it'd be 20 minutes in, and I would not have actually covered the product at all. So let's go ahead and put those to the little manual and the instruction stuff aside. We can go ahead and drop those in the box. Put the box aside. So to get this open, it just pops apart. Really nice packaging design there. It just pops apart, and then this just kind of comes out right there. The little keychain is kind of clipped in there, so do watch out for that. Let's just go ahead and put that off to the side here where we don't have to see it. And oh my gosh, these things are tiny. These are 4 inches tall. For example, I will be putting this with one of the Coleco, one of the original 1980s Coleco tabletops. So yeah, you can see there's a pretty huge size difference. They are much, much smaller than these Coleco tabletops. So we can take the tabletop, we can also take out one of the Bridge Direct games, and you can see that it is much, much smaller. So as you know, they come shipped in the demo mode. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go around to the back. If yours did not have a pull tab, if yours had a pull tab, you just pull it out, turn it off and back on, and it should work. But if you have tried turning it on and off, and no matter what you do, you try doing stuff, and it just goes straight into the little demo mode here, then what you're going to want to do is, number one, just wait for the demo mode to go off. So we're going to go around to the back here, we're going to turn it off, and then we're going to come back around to the front and press these 2 buttons here. Hold them down and flip the switch at the same time. It will automatically start the game, and then you're going to wait for the demo mode to die out. Let's wait for that to go out. Now we're going to turn it off and back on. Now when we come around to the front, it's back on. So that's just a little bit of help there. So let's take a look at the actual game. So as you can see, it's absolutely teeny tiny. I'm really impressed with how small these are and how well they work. So, first of all, you can see we've got the nice little marquee up there. The decals are very high quality. I don't know if you can see that, but they actually use that, like, halftone printing effect that the original arcade marquees used, and the artwork and stuff. Really cool. The artwork is the original artwork. It's none of that reproduction stuff like the Bridge Direct uses on theirs. Looks really nice. These blue decals on the black plastic. It does have two buttons, which Ms. Pac-Man does not use this button over here because they use the same mold. If you've seen some of those hacking videos, you can actually open these up and modify them to play all of the games, which is really cool because all they did was they used a jumper and they used what's it called? A resistor, and they used it as a jumper for the two solder points for the games. So if you can wire up those solder points to a four-way dip switch, then you can actually put one up here, and you can program it to play all four games. Or not program it, but you can wire it up to do that, which is really cool because it means you only buy one. I actually have a Pac-Man one. See, we've got it off to the side here. And I've opened it up a fair amount of times and had a look at it, and yeah. I haven't actually done a modification, but maybe I will in the future and report back on it. So, it definitely does look the part. These decals are nice and glossy, you can see there. They do feel high quality. The little keychain in the back here, which it is really small, however, I do feel like it is too big to really be a keychain. I don't know how they expect you to put this on your keys. I mean, I guess you could. It does fit in your pocket. It's just a really tight fit. So, I really don't see the point in doing that. Or I suppose you could put it on your backpack, but I would be too afraid of it getting damaged, being thrown around and hitting things. If you want to keep yours nice and pristine looking. So, that's just me. It does have an LCD screen in there. You can see that. It looks really nice. The buttons and the joystick are micro switches, which is phenomenal. And that also goes to show the Bridge Direct, which uses analog, which you can see no click or anything. So, they used analog or electronic, digital controls. Micro switches just work so much better. It has that click, which is just satisfying when you're playing the game. It works really well. So let's go ahead and turn the game on. You can see the little switch over here in the back. It does run on 3 AAAs. Don't know if I've said that already. I probably have, but it does run on 3 AAAs. There's no micro USB or anything. So if we turn that on, we get the game, which you can see, that's a pretty low resolution screen. Although it's kind of forgivable, judging by how small the game is. You can see it does have a little attract mode, which is accurate to the arcade thing. The only thing missing are the little white dots going around that red box, which that's okay. See if I can get it to focus a little bit better. There. So you can see there is a little demo mode there. So you can see, it does look pretty good. For such a small little unit, displayed with some action figures or whatnot, it does seem to work pretty well. So let's go and turn it off and back on, and let's go ahead and start up a game of it. And I will try to commentate while I'm playing it. I'm looking through the viewfinder, so we'll see how well I do. So one thing to note is that the game is very solid. It works like the original. It plays almost identically to the original. Overall, it's a really good game. It plays better than most of the larger ones. Oh, got a fruit up there. I'll try to keep it in frame here, and it's a little bit hard to play looking through the viewfinder. But as you can see, the game, it works. We've got the ghosts chasing us. We can move. The controls are very responsive. I hardly ever have a moment where I'm playing the game and it's like, because sometimes with these mini games, the controls won't be responsive enough, and it'll be like, you know, I went this direction, but it's not, you know, it doesn't, like, go in the right direction or whatever. That's not a problem with this, which is great, because with the scale factor, you want it to be responsive, because if you have a small game like this and it's not responsive enough, then you're going to run into a lot of problems with the gameplay. Now, right there are some small things wrong with the game. Like right there, for example. Let's do that one more time. That is the Pac-Man sound effect, not the Ms. Pac-Man. Which I know it's a very minor gripe, but it is something that I will mention, because if you are an arcade enthusiast like I am, then it will be something that you're going to notice. So let's see if we can survive long enough to get the intermission and everything. Oops. Once again, all the sound effects are there. One note is that if you listen, the sound that it's supposed to make when you eat the power pellet doesn't last very long. Also, let's go ahead and do that. I don't know if you saw that, but when the game starts, player 1 is supposed to appear on the screen above the ghost box. You can actually rewind that and play it in slow motion if you want. But it's there, but only for a split second. So, don't know what's up with that. Also, the ambiance noise that plays in the game is too high pitch. It's using the wrong sound file for that. Which again, all this is forgivable because of how small it is. It's just something that I've noticed. I'm having to, like, crane my neck to play this thing, looking through the viewfinder. But if you are an arcade fan, and you're an arcade enthusiast, and you're trying to look at getting something like this, you will not be disappointed. The ghosts are a bit slow, I will say. Let's go and beat the level. So you can see, it does have intermissions. How cool is that? And it does have the different mazes as well. Now, I have found a couple of bugs with this maze in particular. If we watch here, if we go up here, and we go, and then we go up, we actually get stuck on this corner here. See? We get stuck on that. Also, the death animation plays really fast. I'm not sure why that is. It's the same way on Pac-Man. A lot of these bugs on Ms. Pac-Man copy over to Pac-Man. Everything but the slow ghosts. Which, I'm not really sure why the ghosts are slow. I have had a couple of theories about this. You know, maybe it having to do with the RAM on board. Because if there isn't enough RAM, then perhaps it is actually struggling, because it runs Pac-Man fine. The frame rate's a little bit low on Pac-Man, just like it is here. But on Pac-Man, the ghosts run faster, and because there's so much new stuff in Ms. Pac-Man, I assume that they actually rebuilt Ms. Pac-Man off of their already existing Pac-Man ROM. And so if they were to do that, and Pac-Man was already struggling with the frame rate, then it would make sense why Ms. Pac-Man is so slow. Again, that's only a theory. Like, I can't actually prove any of this. It's just something that I suspect could be happening. So I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit more and get to another bit of the game, and I will be right back. Let's go ahead and finish this level up, and then be able to see there. So you can see, here's the next maze. Now, I spent a long while trying to figure out what was wrong with this, and the dots just aren't red. So if you're wondering what's different with this maze, the dots aren't red. But what you can see there, it works really well. There is a little bit of screen distortion there. You can kind of see that from bottom and top. You can see that there. But other than that, from left to right, pretty good. The LCD is worth it. It's a pretty good game. It works well, it does what it's supposed to, and for only $20, in fact, people have been finding these things at Walmart for as low as $12. I think some Walmarts have even started carrying it for $5, so keep an eye out for these. They're definitely worth it. Also, something I forgot to mention, but you probably saw it, was that the marquee lights up, which is really cool. These ones, which are much bigger, do not have a light-up marquee, so for $20, these are both $20. This one's obviously the better pick for that. So, something I did want to mention was the ghosts and how slow they are. So let's go ahead and pull out Pac-Man as well. Let's fire them both up at the same time, and I'll show you. So compare the ghost movement in this. So you can see the ghosts in Ms Pac-Man move a lot slower, and they skip a whole bunch of frames, but the ghosts in Pac-Man are really smooth and nice. They're both low on frame rate, but Pac-Man just appears to look a lot better. Also, I prefer Pac-Man in general over the Ms Pac-Man one, just because I'm more onto Pac-Man. So, all in all, for $20, I would say this is pretty good. You'll hear me say that about a lot of these things, but this one, honestly, like, I can play it and enjoy it, much like the Pocket Player. The game is a bit slow for my liking, but because it's slow, it's easy to get to the harder levels, which makes it a lot of fun. It's also fun because the joystick is responsive. You don't have any, you go in one direction, it goes in the other. The joystick is perfectly fine. It's easy to see the screen. I do wear glasses, if that helps. The glasses don't affect my ability to see the screen at all, so that's good. The speaker is on the bottom. The speaker quality, I mean, it does crackle a little. But, all in all, for it being $20 and it being literally 4 inches tall, it's not bad. They probably could have gotten a better speaker in there, and it would have sounded a little bit more clear. I do wish they had found a way to get a speaker maybe up in there, like the original arcade, or something like that. There's not really anywhere to put it, though, without affecting the decals, so I can understand why it's on the bottom. So, now that I've gotten my opinion out there, my opinion's not the one that matters here, it's you guys' opinions. So, what do you guys think? Have you picked up any of these Tiny Arcades? If so, what do you think of them? If you haven't picked it up, why not? What do you think could be done better? What do you like about them? Are you happy with your purchase? Are you excited to see more of these come out? And, yeah, I think it's a pretty clever little idea. It's a great little stuffer. I don't know, stucker. It's a pretty great little stocking stuffer if you're into this kind of stuff, or you know somebody who's into it. It'd be a neat little item to put in their stocking. You never know. Pretty neat little miniatures. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. The Backstab Gaming signing out.